You will die. Today could be your day, but will you truly live? Stop waiting, start confronting. Your past, your pity, your pain. Die physically savage, die spiritually sound, die mentally strong. Your clock is ticking. Die a life well lived.
Life is so difficult and challenging that unless you give it everything you have, the chances are very high that it will embitter you, and then you'll be a force for darkness and not good.
Pain creates an opportunity for what's already inside of you to come out. There's two things that do that: pain and money. Money makes you more of what you already are. If you win the lottery today, or you go build a big business today, and the money comes, you're going to produce what's already inside of you. Pain does the same thing. It's the grind, but not quitting when you feel like quitting. You keep moving forward, and then all of a sudden you break out of that chapter of your life. You look back and say, God was in it the whole time. He had a plan the whole time.
You can only build a dream as high as your foundation. And the foundation of the dream is realism. That's why people don't stay with the dream long. It's not realistic. You see, the dream is free, but the journey isn't.
The true horror of existence is not the fear of death, but the fear of life. It is the fear of waking up each day to face the same struggles, the same disappointments, the same pain. It is the fear that nothing will ever change, that you are trapped in a cycle of suffering that you cannot escape. And in that fear, there is a desperation, a longing for something, anything, to break the monotony, to bring meaning to the endless repetition of days.
Those who are willing to risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go.
We wouldn't be who we are today if it wasn't for the past. You want to be somebody different? You can't change the past, but you can change the future. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. What changes do you want to make?
There's something special about the space between where you are and where you want to be. Because that's where people stop. When it gets hard, most people opt out. They settle for comfort, and life moves on. But for some, they lean in. They step into the fire of their own transformation and surrender to the metamorphosis. Because they know that on the other side of the challenge is where you get your power.
We're all hurt. We're all going through something, yet how do people still succeed? They say, I'll limp to the finish line. I will carry my wounds to the finish line. I will not allow this pain to stop me. I'll bring it with me if I have to, but it's not going to stop me. It's not going to distract me from my destiny.
In our life, our decisions shape our destiny. This is just a fact. What we decide shapes our destiny. When's the last time you made a significant decision? What's the decision that you've been sitting on right now, you're hesitating on, that you know you need to make? That like right now could be a defining moment for you, or at least something that alters a trajectory, or maybe just a course correction. I really believe we look back and our lives as a collection of moments. And there's a handful of moments that really can define our lives that are the most magic ones. And you create the moment by making a decision. So if you want to alter your destiny this week, or alter the direction you're going to have this week, it's going to come down to a decision.
Have got to decide what it is that you want the future to look like. And the more specific and the more clear you are, the more likely it's going to happen. The more you understand of what that moment is that you're trying to create and why you're trying to create it, and then you now can build the plan and the strategy to get there.
As you make all these plans, and as you make all these goals, and as you say you're going to do this and that, and all these amazing things, I want you to realize, unless you develop the skill set of mental toughness, unless you develop the ability to adhere, unless you develop the skill of discipline, you will never do any of those things. Ever.
to come out of your dark moments. Stop feeling like you're in this thing alone. You are not. You are a leader and there is greatness in you, but it cannot come out unless you're oppressed. Because when you get oppressed, when you get pushed into something, you fight back. You find out that you're resilient. You find out that you can overcome something. And if you overcome it, you become something. And the moment you become that, everyone comes to you to figure out what's your formula. And that is the secret sauce of success.
You don't need to be gifted. You just need to be committed to being bad at something for as long as it takes to get good at it. It only seems like it happens overnight for most successful people because you didn't know who they were for the years they were struggling and putting in the work when nobody was watching. So just stick to the script. Trust that what you're doing right now is gonna pay off in the long run. Don't ask when, just keep showing up and doing your thing.
When you start living your life and start falling in love with the process and the journey and the process starts to love you back. Right now, you're not even focused on certain goals or destinations. You're just focused on moving in this direction, taking the necessary steps, and understanding that if I keep myself open, good things are gonna happen.
Potential is not what you can achieve, it's who you can become. There's a saying, if you're too focused on results, you'll never change. But if you're focused on change, then the results are inevitable. If you achieve success without changing, you will not hang on to that success. Because maybe everything on the outside changed, but nothing on the inside changed.
Whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. Anything I'm afraid of, I confront it.
The world is not changed by your words. The world is changed by your example. But oftentimes people try to cater to words, right? Because the words oftentimes impact the mind. The mind can be convinced, but the heart must be won. You win the heart with your actions, right? The mind can be convinced by what someone says, but the heart must be won. You win somebody's heart with your actions, not by what you say. The world is not changed by what you say. The world is changed by what you do.
Self-love is doing hard things to build a better future for yourself. That is the ultimate form of self-love. It's having discipline to do the hard thing today that's going to make your future better than your present. It's doing the things that make you feel like a winner and create the future of the winner that you know you are. That is what self-love really is.
You always directly approach what you want is the wrong way. Why? Because it is one-sided. You want freedom? Face the structure. Face the hard discipline. Because if inside this hard structured form, you are able to have the freedom, you feel free inside this hard form, that is the freedom.
I'm gonna look you in the eyes and I'm gonna tell you the future.
The world breaks everyone. You already know it's going to be wretched.
The very good, the very gentle, the very brave.
If you break, the fight is just beginning.
There's no shame in being a broken man.
This will be the story that I will one day tell.
You just pick up the pieces, rebuild it, just the way it was, brick for brick.
That means the harder it is,
the pain that's going to come, it's going to come in waves.
The more epic the story.
You must build belief. You must build confidence.
By consequence, the more epic the hero.
You're not ready for what you want until you believe you can get it.
You don't have enough faith in yourself.
You have to believe you can.
You need to have a shift in your perception of yourself. Really convince yourself that you can do it.
And if that's the game that we're playing, if I can construct my belief system, if I can choose at any moment,
step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you.
to believe something that's more empowering than I was believing the moment before.
It will enable you to transcend yourself.
Find your impossible. That's what you have to go after.
Winners define themselves by what they made happen. and losers define themselves by what happened to them.
Every morning, guys, I wake up, I look in the mirror, anxiety fills me, stressed out. Cause I'm like, man, there's not enough time. I'm out of time. I'm running out. I haven't become the person I want to be yet.
How do you believe? How do you change a belief? Interesting subject, because I'm going to tell you something. Your results are nothing but the manifestation of your belief system.
When you're working on something you want to achieve, you have got to stand up to that voice. You've got to sell yourself every day on your abilities, on what you're doing, on the goal that you want to reach. You've got to sell yourself every day, every day, every day. According to your level of belief, it will manifest itself in what you're doing.
But the belief system you have to have. If you expect to lose, you will. I know a lot of guys are very talented. A lot of women are very talented, but they don't think they can do it, and they don't.
This is why thinking is so vital. This is why a goal is so important. Because we will become that. This is why people who set goals achieve them. The trouble with men is not in achieving their goals. They do that. It's in establishing them.
Well, I think there's an infinite source of supply. We've been endowed with mental faculties that the most erudite scientists won't even guess at. I think most people wander around in a deep sleep, and they don't think, they don't invest in themselves, and the second they wake up and start doing that, everything starts to change. $1 million is not a lot of money. We're creative beings, we're working with an infinite power, and once we start to understand the power of our mind, and then start to understand how to utilize it properly, then we'll understand that we can do virtually anything.
Whenever you look at somebody that's been successful, do not allow yourself to make them extraordinary at your expense. You're capable of whatever it is that they're capable of. But it comes down to the mental constructs that you're going to have to build and leverage in your own mind in order to do something great. And that became my driver. We set out to actively ask one question: what would we do and love every day, even if we were failing?
Nietzsche said, "I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible." The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
Everybody wants to win, but in order to know how to win, you gotta know how to lose, because you're gonna lose more than you're gonna win. But every time you lose, what do you gain from it? So every time I've lost, people say, you gotta jump right back up. You know, get back right on your feet again. And I disagree with that. After you lose, or when you get knocked down, stay down there for a minute.
I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. I look at them as attempts. I don't look at anything as failure. Because when you're going to try to do something, not trying is failure.
It takes courage to act. Part of being hungry when you've been defeated, it takes courage to start over again. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, every day, every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective, telling yourself every day, here I go again, and I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.
95% of the game, like I said before, is right up here, guys. If you guys can believe you can do this, then today I'm no longer be a fucking loser. Today I'm gonna change my fucking path. I'm gonna get on the path that says, I don't care how long that road is. I'm gonna see it through no matter what, because you know what? I've been living enough years in this hole, I don't wanna be here anymore.
I'm not happy with this. I'm tired of making excuses. I'm tired of going through the same circle of emotion as shit. I want to be different. And last I looked, every single day I'm getting older, meaning running out of time.
It has nothing to do with who you are today. Don't worry about that. I'm not very interested in the person that I am today. I am a far cry from the person that I can imagine and the person I promised myself that I will continue to work to become. So it's not about who you are. It's about who you want to become and the price you're willing to pay to get there.
You're going to be attacked, betrayed, exposed, and humiliated. And you'll survive that. A lot of people can climb that mountain. It's the way down that breaks them. Because that's the moment when you are truly alone. And what will you do then? Can you summon the will to fight on through all the pain and rise again? That will be the defining question of your life. And I think you already know the answer. You're going to be remembered forever.
Live with purpose. You owe it to them and to yourself. Take a moment and think about the journey that brought you here. Not just your personal journey, but the long, winding roads your ancestors walked, the sacrifices they made, the dreams they carried, and the love they poured into building a world where you could exist. Think about your family, your friends, the people who have been there for you, looking out for you, believing in you. Now ask yourself, are you living up to that? Are you honoring their efforts, their love, their sacrifices? You see, the best advice I can give you is this. Keep in mind that you are here because of others who cared enough to give you this chance. And because of that, you owe it to them. No excuses, no shortcuts. You owe them your absolute best. Every one of us carries a legacy, whether we realize it or not. Think about your ancestors, people who lived in times far tougher than ours. They didn't have the luxuries we take for granted today. They fought wars, endured hardships, and made unimaginable sacrifices, all to create a world that's just a little bit better for the next generation. What's your role in this legacy? Are you moving it forward, or are you letting it stagnate? Because here's the truth, it's not enough to simply exist. Life isn't about coasting, it's about contributing, growing, and building something greater than yourself. When you slack off, when you settle for mediocrity, you're not just shortchanging yourself, you're dishonoring all those who came before you and all those who will come after you. But life demands effort. It demands purpose. And it demands that you honor the debt you owe to the people who brought you here. Imagine disappointing someone who gave you everything they had to see you succeed, not because you failed, but because you didn't try. You owe it to the people who love you to be your best self, not because they demand it, but because they deserve it. They deserve to see you thrive, to see you become the person they always knew you could be. That's how you repay them. Not with words, but with action. Gratitude is a powerful thing. It's not just about saying thank you. It's about living thank you. It's about showing through your actions that you appreciate the opportunities and the love you've been given. When you wake up in the morning, think about all the people who have poured into your life. Think about the fact that you're here, breathing, living, with endless potential ahead of you. That's a gift not everyone gets. And the best way to honor that gift is to use it. It's about finding the motivation to push through challenges, not just for yourself, but for everyone who has helped you along the way. Gratitude is what turns obligation into inspiration. Here's the hard truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. When you sit around content with the bare minimum, you're not just wasting time, you're wasting potential. And wasting potential is one of the greatest disservices you can do to yourself and to those who believe in you. Yes, life gets tough. Yes, there are moments when you'll want to give up, but those moments are where character is built. The more you push through discomfort, the stronger you become. And the stronger you become, the more you can give back to your family, your community, and the world. even on the days when it feels impossible. Your purpose isn't just about you. It's about how you can use your gifts, your talents, and your time to make an impact. Because at the end of the day, the greatest fulfillment comes not from what you take, but from what you give. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Self-doubt. We've all felt it, that nagging voice in the back of your head that says you're not good enough, that you're going to fail, that you should just give up. But let me tell you something. That voice is a liar. It's not the truth. The truth is that you are capable of far more than you can imagine. The truth is that every great person you admire, every artist, every leader, every innovator, started out just like you, with doubts and fears. What set them apart was their refusal to let that voice win. So, the next time self-doubt creeps in, remember this: you are not your doubts. You are your actions. And every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you're proving that voice wrong. Now that you've heard all this, the question is, what will you do? Will you let these words wash over you and then go back to the same old habits? Or will you take this moment as a turning point? Life is a debt we repay with effort. And every step you take, every goal you achieve, every ounce of effort you give, it all counts, it all matters, and it all brings you closer to becoming the person you are meant to be. You're not alone in this journey. You have a legacy behind you, a community around you, and a purpose ahead of you. The road might not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. So when you feel like giving up, think of the faces of those who love you. Think of the sacrifices that paved the way for you. Think of the potential within you that's just waiting to be unleashed. You owe it to them. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the future that you're building, not just for you, but for everyone who will come after you. Remember, life isn't about perfection. It's about effort. It's about trying your hardest every single day, even when it's tough, even when it feels like you're not making progress. Because every little step counts. Every little effort adds up. You've got what it takes. You're stronger than you think, smarter than you believe. But none of that matters unless you take action. Start now. Start today. And don't stop until you've given it your all. Visual. The young person from earlier running toward the horizon as the sun sets, symbolizing determination and hope, and voiceover, closing lines. This is your life. This is your moment. Make it count. Honor those who believed in you. Repay the love and sacrifices that brought you here. And most importantly, believe in yourself. You owe it to the world, and you owe it to the greatness within you. Let's make it happen.
So you have an image of what you want your life to be like, but you'd seriously allow an arbitrary self-doubt to get in the way of that? You see, the people that get what they want in this life are the ones that believed they would before it happened. And I promise you are made for a lot more than watching someone else live that life. The work of all this is going to be found in giving yourself the evidence that you ought to bet on yourself. And when that confidence is ingrained in who you are, you'll have zero reason to believe you'll fall short of what you're searching for.
People talk all the time about wanting to find success or be successful in something. They talk about wanting to accomplish something, at the end of which would be success. Yet they've never sat down and taken the time to actually define what success looks like. They've never really identified what that dream is. If you don't have the dream defined, then how do you know when you get there? And more importantly, if that dream is not defined, how do I know when I'm making progress towards that dream? And then once I've defined it, once I've defined what that looks like, then I can start to feel what it takes to get there. Then I can say, now I've defined it. Now I'm willing to put in the time. I'm willing to make the effort. I'm willing to make the sacrifices. I'm willing to do the things that will change who I am. that will allow me to be successful at the end of this journey. And I know full well that while I'm putting in the work, there are going to be challenges and obstacles along the way. I'm going to get knocked down. But when I am intentional about what my success looks like, when I'm intentional with that definition, when I know the significance, the why of going after that success, it makes it so much easier to get back up when I get knocked down. And success without challenges is not nearly as rewarding as success where I have to put in the blood, sweat, and tears to get there.
There are the days that we want and the days that we get. The important question is, how do we handle it when we get the ones we don't want? There will always be points in life where things won't go according to plan. There are external factors and variables that are out of your control. That's just life. You can't focus on them. Instead, how do you rise to the occasion? How do you stay positive? How do you stay focused? How do you look at what's in front of you and say, okay, this is what we have, let's make the best of it? Because I guarantee you, if you make the best of a day that hasn't gone to plan, it won't take you that far off course in life. But if you spend all of those days worrying about what wasn't, it's going to be hard to win. So instead, take control. Make everything of what's in front of you. You won't be disappointed. Take the day, and it will be your day.
The countless nights that you've spent staring up at the ceiling wondering if you're delusional, if you are truly capable of obtaining what your heart tells you is yours. The days go by and it feels like nothing is moving. The effort, it feels unrewarded. When will I win? When will I be freed from this dreadful cycle of stagnation? My friend, every dead end, every inch of doubt, it all feeds the fire that is molding you into your purest form, but you have to learn to live in the heat.
One thing I need you to understand and realize is that fear that's holding you back, it seems like it's an ocean wide, but it's only an inch deep. What you need to do is take that leap of faith within your own self and trust that you're going to be okay. And every single door that's locked inside of you will open, and your external reality will reflect, and your life will change. The thing that makes success so exclusive and rare is that most people never understand the pain it takes to get there. And when they start on your path and get their first taste of it, they'll think something must be wrong and resort to quitting. I remember being on the other side of this concept where I recognized the pain it would take to emulate those I looked up to. And I remember thinking, there's no way it feels the same for them, but it does. If you think of what it would feel like to uphold the commitments that I do every single day, your assumptions are probably spot on. But what most people will never resonate with is the willingness to face that discomfort.
We forget it all starts from here. Everything starts from here. If you're not mentally ready, you're never really physically prepared. And that's where the preparation starts. I firmly believe that everybody in this room, everybody on this planet has a gift. It's your job to figure out what that gift is. Then it becomes your job to decide whether you're going to act on that or not. Everyone sees the work that you put in, but it's what you don't see is going to determine how far you're going to get. I hear stuff all the time. People say, oh, look in the mirror and you'll see why you're not succeeding. I don't believe that, okay? It's what you don't see in the mirror. That's what's holding you back. It's what you're not willing to see is why talent is not enough. And when you finally see it and accept it and decide to work on it, then you can take that next level.
Have the right heroes. I mean, I've always been lucky in that respect. And if the people you look up to are going to form your vision of what the world, how you want to be in later life. And I'll give you two pieces of advice. I'd invest as much in myself as you can. I mean, you're your own biggest asset by far. I mean, you've got all kinds of potential. All the people in this room, you're lucky to be in this country, gotten a good education, but most people go through life using up a very, very small part of their potential. And so anything you do that invests in yourself, that's the best investment you can possibly make. And then I would follow my passion. I mean, whatever turns you on. You know, I was lucky. I found something early that turned me on. But you don't want to take a job just for the money. You don't want to take a job for an organization that you really don't feel good about, or work for people that you don't feel good about. You really want to be excited when you get out of bed every morning. And it won't necessarily be the job that you have 10 years later, but you'll be learning so much as you go along. And you know, I took a job with Ben Graham, my hero, and it, you know, I never asked the salary, and I found at the end of the month when I got my first paycheck what I was earning, because I just knew it was the right thing to be doing. So I would follow your passion.
Say, because it really worked out for me, because happiness coincides with financial upside. I have friends who make $74,000 a year that are just happier people than friends that are making $18 million a year that are not. You've got to do you. But please don't let the entrepreneurial society, don't let your parents push you into what success is. It's different for all of us, but, and this is the big but, you gotta be self-aware about it.
Yeah, who you spend time with is who you become. Because whoever you spend time with affects your beliefs and your values, and your need for their love, their attention, their significance will affect. If I'm going to play tennis and I play someone worse than I am on a regular basis, I am not going to get better.
Right. So you
yeah, like you do that. Even if you play terrible, your skill sets are going to grow significantly because of your desire to connect and to play at that level.
And I should be the weakest link in my chain that I have, and that'll make me be stronger, it'll make me run faster. I mean, like an analogy I've always used is, all right, if you run the 100-yard dash with people that can't run as fast as you, yeah, you'll win, hands down, you know that. But if you run with people much faster than you, all right, yeah, you might come in last every single time, but your time will be better, because they're making you run all the faster. They're making you dig down just a little bit more. It doesn't matter that you win, your time is faster. And that's what I knew I had to do. I had to get out of Loserville and throw myself into a place where, like, this is what f***ers do for a living.
The reality is going out and trying to do something, whether it's to make it on your own, it's to start your own company, to write a book, or to pursue some artistic career. You are facing adversity day in and day out. People don't like what you do. It's easier to quit. You run out of inspiration. You think this opportunity is going to be your big shot, and it doesn't pan out, or you get fired, or you get bumped. There's what it really is a day in and day out kind of adversity, right? It's never as easy as you think it is. It never goes as smoothly as you think it is. And I think obviously how we respond to these sort of pivotal moments of enormous adversity is one thing, but I am more interested in how you bounce back day in and day out. How do you get up and do the work, and get up and do the work, and get up and do the work, and deal with the problems as they come your way.
It is completely in your control, and it's completely identifiable. And it's only when people don't want to believe that very simple truth. And if you guys know Occam's razor, right? The simplest answer is usually the right answer. The simplest answer is probably not some big conspiracy against you or the department that you're in or whatever. It's you're not doing a good enough job. Steve Martin wrote a book called Be So Good They Can't Ignore You.
It's like the masterpiece is enjoying your life to the utmost and having the most success with your family, with your friends, the most relationship success, the most harmony with the people that you come in contact with. But that doesn't seem to be rewarded the same way in our world as like someone who's got some baller house and a helicopter picks him up and he's got golden underwear.
But that fades, right?
Yeah, it does, but
they can have that helicopter, and I guarantee you that it fades and they want something new. There's something new that you're desiring past that.
Like if you're born into like some super wealthy multi-billionaire family and you've got a Ferrari when you're 16 and you drive around there, fly around everywhere in private jets and you live in a giant mansion, I just don't think that you can ever appreciate
definitely not
the difficulty
So the first important lesson that I want to impart to you is the importance of escaping what I call the comparison paradigm. Okay, so you basically have the self-acceptance paradigm and the comparison paradigm. And let me point out some things to you that you might have never thought about. All right, so say you don't make a lot of money, or let's say that you're not that tall or you're not that good looking. Well, think about this for a minute. Imagine you're making 100 grand a year. Okay, you're making $100,000 a year. Sounds like a lot, right? Well, what if I told you that when you make about 100 grand a year, you move into a neighborhood where you probably have friends that are making 500,000 a year or even $1 million a year? Well, what happens if you move into a neighborhood where people are making $1 million a year? You're gonna be around people who are making $10 million a year. How about if you make 10 million? You'll be around people making 50 million. Well, do you think that you would feel secure with yourself if you had $50 million a year? You think you would, right? Actually, what I would tell you is that unless you fix the inner issue, you still probably wouldn't. Because when you're making 50 million a year, now you're comparing yourself to people that are called old money. And old money laughs in the face of $50 million a year, okay? Old money laughs in the face of $50 million a year. In fact, you will never win. You will never win in this paradigm. I remember being out in the Lincoln Mall in Miami South Beach, and I went to this watch store. I think it was called Arthur Miller or something like that. And they have these like $100,000 watches. And out of curiosity, I said, how do you sell these? Who's interested in stuff like this? Just not like in a mean or judgmental way, I was just curious. And she was like, well, when you can't bring your yacht to the restaurant, you can wear your Arthur Miller watch. And why do people do that? Well, I think they do it because they need for people to see that they have the big yacht in order to feel comfortable with themselves. It's like when their yacht's not around, they feel naked. It's almost like if you have your favorite shirt, or you're not wearing it, you don't feel good. As you get more and more money, you buy your favorite yacht, you don't feel comfortable if you don't have your favorite yacht around. You're in celebrity circles, but actually celebrities aren't even that rich compared to old money. Whatever circle you're in, there's always somebody who has more, okay? There was a great Nas lyric where he talked about this, where he's like, you know, rappers, we think we're so tight because we got like a gold grill or a Rolex watch. Or, you know, like heated floors. There's people with a piece of artwork in their house that's worth more than your gold grill, your heated floor, and everything that you own. One little piece of artwork, okay? So if you're comparing yourself, you're not gonna win, no matter how much cash you make. You have to get out of that paradigm. All it is pure insecurity. In fact,
talk a lot about having a powerful vision and how necessary that is for success. So I'm thinking of you here on your sister's couch. What did that vision look like?
Pay my own rent. That was the first vision. And I think a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, get caught up in these big ideas or big visions when they're in a small place to start and when they feel like it's too unattainable. And so I always talk about starting with something simple. And so for me, the next step was to get off the couch and feel like I was an adult. I would write out my own itinerary every day. How much time am I going to work towards my health? When is that time? When am I allocating it towards? How much time am I working towards reaching out to mentors, to learning new information, to traveling to events, to consuming books, whatever it may be? Some people may say that's a little crazy or a little too much. Right? If you want to achieve those results, you've got to be very intentional about every moment. The more focused, the easier the opportunity to achieve.
Doing something, you should believe in it with your heart. And just the only way you can do that is to know who you are. But once you know who you are, how you want to work, how you want to spend that part of your life for work. And then you just go do it. You start every day and you learn stuff as you go. And that's the thing. So, you know, the advice is, you know, maybe it's some of the things I've already said, like, if you know yourself, then you know you can start to build a vision for what you want to become and what you want to do with your life.
How do you prepare somebody to survive that initial stage of boredom and pain?
Well, pain is great. You've got to embrace pain. Pain is pleasure. You've got to make the connection between the physical and the mental. When you work out, it's painful. I do long distance swimming is like my main workout. I also do other things, but that's my main workout. I'm on like mile 1 and I'm like, God, man, I'm so bored and I'm really gonna collapse. But when I'm finished, I am like, oh man, I've got so much energy and it feels so good and I pushed past it. Well, you know that when you're exercising, when you're running or you're working out, whatever, it hurts. but it leads to something pleasurable. You have to be able to translate that to mental things. And if you make that switch in your mind, it is mind-blowing what can happen to you. If the boredom of learning something technical, and you're able to say to yourself, wow, I'm gonna master this bit of coding after a few months, and just think of what it's gonna allow me to do. Okay, so the boredom now is actually not so bad, because I can imagine the powers that it's gonna lead to. I'm not gonna skip the steps, I'm still gonna learn, but I'm thinking of all of that post-workout feeling I'm gonna have. You've gotta be able to understand, embrace pain. Pain is something to embrace. If there's no resistance to you, you're not gonna get anywhere in life. Who are the most messed up people in the world? Spoiled kids. Kids who are given everything, who have a rich father or mother and they don't have to work or try. They are the most messed up people you'll ever meet.
All right, you're writing a book on human nature. Why is that true?
Because they have no limits, they have no resistance. They don't have to push against anything. They don't have to go like that
Does
to
that
get
atrophy something in the brain, do you think?
Well, it's one of the laws of human nature. One of the laws is about what I call necessity. We are animals of necessity. When we have to discover or build something, we build it if our life is on the line. That's how we're genetically primed from several million years ago. And when there's no necessity, when we don't have to do something, we just lie around and watch television and smoke pot.
You can have any habit you want to be. You can be lazy, you can be prompt, you can be late, you can be honest, you can cut corners. I mean, you have all these choices. And those are choices for you to make. Nobody else is going to make them for you. And I would suggest that you play this little game with me too. Think about the person you would most like to be in life. So maybe it's one of your contemporaries, maybe it's somebody a little older, but pick out the person you admire the most, the person that you'd change places with if you could. And then write down why you admire them. Just put it on a piece of paper. And then figure out the person that you would least like to change places with you. Who really turns you off? Who do you find repulsive? And list the reasons why that person turns you off so much. And put those down on the other side of the paper. And then look at that list. And you'll find that everything on the left-hand side, what you admire in other people, the qualities they bring to life, cheerfulness, generosity, all kinds of things. You'll find those are things you can do yourself. It's very simple. You got to apply yourself, but the habits you form in doing that early on will carry you through life. And on the other hand, you'll find that the things that make people repulsive, selfishness, obnoxiousness, all these things, egotism, are things that no one has to have. If you find those in yourself, you can get rid of them as long as you get rid of them early. So all I suggest is that you write down a list of what you admire, what you find contemptible, and decide that the ones on the admired side are ones you're going to acquire for yourself. And if you do that when you're young, it'll carry you through the rest of your life. This doesn't work if you do it when you're 50 or 60. By then the habits are too well formed. But if you do it early, behavior becomes a habit. So if you do that, 2 or 3 years from now, if you go through the same exercise, you'll find out that the person you admire the most is yourself. That can be a little dangerous under some circumstances, but it's not a bad thing. I mean, you want to be somebody you like, and you don't want to be somebody that you dislike. And form those habits early. You basically can't miss.
So here I am, a speck on this little blue dot we call planet Earth. Because look at the opportunity I have. I'm alive. I can decide what I do, where I go, how much money I can make, how hard I work, who I surround myself with. I can choose who I want to be. Look, nobody said it was easy. There is no magic wand that just makes everything okay. To make life better, to make people not come after you and make you feel less than. But that's okay, because they don't control you. You are in control of you. Completely. It's like my father says, you give life half a chance and it will survive. You all have way more than half a chance. So what are you going to do with it?
The path you have chosen is going to be a difficult one. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you being liked and understood, but that doesn't matter. The people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. All you're going to lose is what was built for a person you no longer are. Remaining attached to a life you're unhappy with is the greatest act of self-sabotage. And releasing it is what you must prepare for, to truly be willing to see real change.
Your future isn't waiting for you. It's not waiting on you to arrive. It's not waiting for you to thrive. It's waiting for you to create it. Dreams require action, and action requires permission from you and you alone. Speak to yourself. Now's the time. Now's the time to elevate not only your game, but your name, your frame, of your thought processes. There is absolutely nothing that you can't accomplish or do. Unless you never start, unless you never dream, unless you never believe, you can manifest the very best of you, but you gotta believe it. That's why you welcome when people test you. Because if you test me, you'll find out there's a better part of me. Test me, it brings out the best of me. Test me, and I will manifest everything I'm supposed to, because that is how diamonds are made. Pressure on them releases what they are. That's why you gotta accept the fact that you are rare, you are valuable, you are gifted, you are good, your capacity is amazing, but you gotta maintain your tenacity.
There were many before us that had half, a quarter of what we have, that made something amazing of their lives. There are people flying that couldn't walk, people singing that couldn't breathe. And guess what? You're not what they told you you were. Only you can be put in a box if you let yourself get put in a box. Whatever they say about you is a reflection on them, not you. I'll say it again. What they say about you is a reflection on them, not you. You're not an imposter. You belong here. And so when I look up the sky and I tell myself, you're just 1 in a billion. Insignificant. And I talk myself out of the contribution. I go, no, maybe I'm actually 1 in a billion. That unique thing that's independent to me.
I know you want everything to happen right now. You may have been working for a very long time, and at this point you feel like you have earned the result. But you have to understand that things aren't going to happen at the speed at which you think they should happen. Things are going to happen at the speed that they are supposed to happen. The only thing you can control are the inputs, the work, the hours, the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into what you're trying to do. You don't get to control the output. Instead, say, this is what I'm willing to do every single day until I get the result that I want. And I'm not willing to wait 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. I'm willing to wait as long as it takes.
What if I'm not powerful enough?
I don't know the answer. Sometimes life is like this dark tunnel. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place.
Wake up to your own potential, realize how divine and magnificent you are, and realize you have the power to make changes. You are not stuck. You can begin to make changes by changing the way you think. It'll work miracles.
Sit down, decide what you want, write it on a card, carry the card in your pocket, and read it as often as possible every day. I found if you write a lie on a card and you read it often enough, you're going to start to believe it. Believe, and your belief will actually create the fact. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. If you've got a goal and you're willing to stick to it and study the laws, you're going to find out that you can win.
You've got to believe in your vision when no one believes in your vision till the world believes in your vision. George Bernard Shaw said it beautifully. He said, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in adapting the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man.
If you know that there is something that you're meant to do, if you know that there's something that you're meant to change, you will have to let certain groups, friends, routines, places, you're going to have to let those go. I can promise you, anybody that has done anything, moved from any place they were to any place that they want to be, has gone through this lonely chapter.
Thoughts are like drops of water. You drop a drop of water and it doesn't mean much. But if you keep dropping and keep dropping and keep dropping, table becomes a wash, and then you get a puddle on the floor, and then you can get a little pond and a lake, and finally you can create an ocean. And with our own thoughts, we can drown in a sea of negativity, or we can float on the ocean of life. And it's up to us. The thoughts we think accumulate. And what sort of puddles are you standing in? Or are you up to here? Or are you up to here and trying to paddle? When we're willing to change our thinking, we can change our experiences. And it doesn't matter if you've got a puddle of negative thoughts. You know, you can move over here and create a puddle of mindfulness, positive thoughts. You can make changes, always.
But mark this down. Let worry alarm you, but don't let it conquer you. We all need to be concerned. We all need to be concerned. If there's enemies around, we need to be concerned. If it isn't going well, yes, we need to be concerned. But I'm asking you to let it concern, let it touch you, let it alarm you, but don't let it conquer you. Take all of the worries you've got and try to drive them into the smallest corner you can possibly find. If you don't, worry will be like a mad dog loose in the house. It'll have you in the corner. So whatever your enemies are here, drive them into a small corner.
Nobody is going to choose you. You're going to choose yourself. And if you get a wild idea and you see what it is in your life that you want to become, then if you want that more than anything else and you're passionate about it and it gets you up in the morning, you'll arrive there. But just remember, you're going to have to change a lot to get there. And arriving at that future, man, every single day means if you go all in, then you'll make the right choices for yourself on a regular basis, because nobody else is going to do that for you when you see that future and no one else can see it. I've done it enough times in my life where people look at me like I'm crazy, and to them, I am, because I'm unpredictable. And yet, you choose yourself every day, you get good at it.
The one that they forgot. You the one that they counted out. You the one that they laughed at. You the one that all them saying, look at them, they're not worth. We thought you're the one. Yes, you're the one. And you keep going forward. That's what makes you special. That's what makes you a winner. That's what makes you courageous, audacious. That's what makes you step up to the plate every single time. That's what makes you a person that has greatness inside of them. That's what makes you beautiful.
Get up every day. You're entitled to nothing. Nobody owes you nothing. You could have talent, but if you don't have discipline and you don't execute, you don't focus, what do you get? Nothing. If you're complacent and not paying attention to detail, what does that get you? Nothing. So, nothing is acceptable but your best. Everything is determined by what you do and you trying to be your best so that you can build on positive performance. That's the only thing. There should be nothing else.
Why would you limit yourself from experiencing that? Why? Because you're scared, you're afraid, you don't know how it's gonna work out, it doesn't feel good. Perfectly fine. But I've come to understand, I've come to realize that the beauty of life isn't in pursuing happiness, it's in pursuing experiences. It's understanding that it's multidisciplinary, it's multilateral, it's not just one emotion. So I'm not in the business of pursuing happiness, I'm in the business of pursuing life. And life comes in different forms at different seasons.
There's nothing more beautiful than rising after every time you've fallen. The courage it takes to get up after you've been knocked down time and time again is immense. Believe you can. It might take everything you've got, but you will make it out the other side.
Your story may not have such a happy beginning, but that doesn't make you who you are. It is the rest of your story, who you choose to be.
There are moments when things are so bad that it seems like they'll never get better. Perhaps we're young and being bullied, or we're in the midst of some massive rush of negative publicity, or the political situation seems to deteriorate each day, or we're just so sick or in pain that we can't get out of bed. This is a problem as timeless as it is modern. Marcus Aurelius said it could be helpful to imagine our own impending death, but then we should get a reprieve. Can we take what is left and live it properly? Could we sober up? Could we get serious? Could we get help? That's the question. We have to stick around to give an answer.
Trust yourself. Like, really trust yourself. Don't just say that you do. Act like it. When you hit rock bottom and have no idea what's next, just take a deep breath and remember that you're more than capable of handling anything that life throws at you. You've made it this far for a reason. Everything you need to make it through this next chapter is already inside of you. Find it again, because the future version of you is counting on the current version of you to keep fighting.
The only real power we have in the world is choosing our response. We can't choose what happens to us. We can get stuck into situations where we are abused, where we are not treated fairly, where any number of bad things can happen. And so the only choice we can make is how to respond. And I find that that knowledge gives me so much freedom, because if something bad is happening to me that I can say is beyond my control, I can say, well, at least, I have the power in my response to show the world what kind of person I am.
There's a law of attraction in the universe that says that you attract into your life people and circumstances in harmony with your own thinking. So if you start to read really good material, set goals, commit to your own personal development, strive to become good at what you're doing, listen to positive audio programs, what happens is you set up a force field of energy that is invisible, but it attracts into your life people, circumstances, possibilities, opportunities that would not have been there in the absence of your own changed thinking.
Next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not. Look, did you do what you said you were going to do by this time? And if you don't, hold your feet to the fire. Because, just sitting around dreaming someday I'm going to change this. Someday ain't a day of the week.
Hey, listen. This next 5 months, lock in. Give it all you got. Discipline, consistency, and dedication. Because next year, not gonna be like this year.
Listen here, if you allow the weight of other people's limitations to determine your life, it will be a long and miserable one. Do not let other people's limitations on how they see their life going seep into how your life will be. It is so important to consider the risk and the rewards of everything that everyone you care about is saying about dreams or goals, aspirations, or where you're at in life is. But it's also just as important to know, if I didn't have this dream, God would have never gave it to me. There's a fine line between it, and sometimes we make the wrong decisions, but nonetheless we make a decision. Life is about, is it right, is it wrong? You won't know either of those answers if you don't make a choice. So do something different and take a chance on yourself.
This is the #1 horrific mistake I know you're making right now, and it's completely sabotaging your life. The most catastrophic mistake I see them making is waiting. They're convinced that the stars need to align in some magical, perfect constellation before they can take the leap. They're sitting there passively hoping for a moment when the sky opens up, a unicorn gallops past their window, and a wise old rabbit rubs its hands together, whispering, "Now's your time." It sounds ridiculous, right? But that's exactly what you're doing every time you wait for the perfect moment. Let me tell you something brutally honest. That moment isn't coming. You think you're being strategic. I'll start next week when work slows down, or I'll wait until I have more money, more time, more confidence. Guess what? None of that is happening the way you think. Stop pretending you're going to have a lightning bolt moment where everything lines up perfectly. Spoiler alert, that moment doesn't exist. If you're waiting for some divine sign to tell you it's time, this is it. This is your sign. The only way to get momentum is to start before you're ready. Messy, imperfect action always beats sitting on the sidelines.
Sometimes you have to stop trying to make sense of why things happen the way they did. It's okay if you can't see the end right now. Sometimes there won't be any explanation. Accept things the way they are and stop trying to control what you can't. Your pain is valid, but listen to me when I say that you won't feel like this forever. So just hold on a little longer. You got this.
Well, the difference between winners and losers is, one of the differences, winners take the first step. Losers always have an excuse. Winners say, okay, I'm going to do it, and they do it. They take the first step. It doesn't mean they jump off a cliff, it just means they take the first step. And if you take the first step, the second step will appear, and the third step will appear. It's almost like those lights that light up as you walk along. But what happens is that if you take the first step, every subsequent step will appear. And surprise, you turn around a week, a month, a year, or some years later, look back, and you'll have accomplished extraordinary things. And people say, well, you're sure lucky. Yeah, sure, it wasn't luck at all. In fact, I worked at. Because every person, as I said this morning, has to commit to being in the top 10% of their field. If you don't want to be in the top 10% of your field, if you don't care enough to be in the top 10% of your field, what that tells you is that you're in the wrong field, and that you're in great danger of wasting your life. Because the greatest regrets that people have is they turn around when they're 40 or 50 and say, I don't know why I stayed in that job for 20 years. I hated it from the time I got in.
Imagine this. It's late at night. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. The room is quiet, but your mind, it's loud. Thoughts keep circling like vultures. What if I had tried harder? What if I had spoken up? What if I had gone all in? That's the thing about regret. It's not the things you failed at that haunt you. It's the chances you didn't take. The moments you didn't give your all. The dreams you gave up on too soon. Here's the truth. Wondering what if is a slow poison. It eats at you. It whispers in your ear, you could have been more. You could have done more. And you're left wondering, what if I had just given it everything I had? Today I want to talk to you. The person watching this, the person who feels stuck, the person who's doubting themselves. This is your wake-up call. Stop holding back. Stop half-assing your life, because the stakes are too high and the cost of regret is too heavy. Giving your all isn't just about effort. It's about heart. It's about showing up fully, even when you're tired, even when you're scared, even when the odds aren't in your favor. When you give your all, 1, you silence the doubting voice inside you. 2, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. 3, you redefine what's possible for your future. But here's the catch. Giving your all doesn't guarantee success. And that's where most people falter. They think, what's the point of trying so hard if I might fail? Let me tell you why. Because when you give your all, win, lose, or draw, you walk away with peace of mind. You walk away knowing you tried. And that sense of closure, that's priceless. Think about it. How many times have you regretted trying your best? Probably never. But how many times have you regretted holding back? Too many to count, right? Giving your all is a mindset shift. It's about saying, no matter what happens, I'm going to make sure that when I look back on this moment, I can say I gave it everything I had. Let's talk about a dangerous little phrase. Good enough. We tell ourselves this all the time. My grades are good enough. My effort at work is good enough. This relationship is good enough. But deep down, we know the truth. Good enough is a lie we tell ourselves when we are too scared to push harder. Why? Because pushing harder is uncomfortable. It requires discipline, sacrifice, and the willingness to fail. It's easier to settle for good enough than to risk going all in. But here's the harsh reality. Good enough doesn't lead to greatness. It doesn't lead to fulfillment. It doesn't lead to the life you dream about. It leads to mediocrity. And mediocrity, that's where regret lives. Here's what happens when you aim for good enough. 1. You cheat yourself out of your potential. 2. You rob yourself of the chance to see how far you can go. 3. You create a pattern of settling for less than you deserve, less than you're capable of. But when you aim higher, when you say, good enough isn't good enough for me, everything changes. Let's address the elephant in the room. Fear. Fear of failure is the one reason people hold back. And I get it. Nobody likes to fail. But here's the thing. Failure isn't the enemy. Fear is. Failure teaches you. It builds resilience. It forces you to grow. Fear, on the other hand, paralyzes you. It keeps you small. Think about this. Every successful person you admire, every athlete, entrepreneur, artist has failed repeatedly. The difference between them and everyone else, they didn't let fear stop them. The key is to change how you see failure. Stop seeing it as an end. Start seeing it as a step, a lesson, a necessary part of the process. And let me be real with you. Giving your all doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It doesn't mean you won't fail. It means you won't let those things define you. Here's a hard truth. You can't give your all without commitment. Commitment means showing up, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one is watching. It's the decision to keep going, no matter what. But commitment isn't just about discipline. It's about passion. It's about finding something that matters so much to you that quitting isn't an option. Let me ask you something. What's your why? What's the thing that lights a fire in you? What's the thing you'd fight for, cry for, stay up all night for? When you find that thing, hold on to it. Let it drive you. Let it push you to give your all, every single day. At the end of the day, life isn't about winning or losing. It's about how you play the game. It's about whether you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I gave it everything I had. Because here's the truth. The outcome doesn't matter as much as you think it does. What matters is the effort, the intention, the willingness to try. So, don't half-ass it. Don't hold back. Don't settle for good enough. Whatever it is you're chasing, your dream job, your fitness goal, your relationships, go all in. Give it your all. Win, lose, or draw. You'll walk away with something far more valuable than success. You'll walk away with peace of mind. You'll walk away knowing you lived fully. You'll walk away without regrets. And that's worth everything. Now it's your turn. What's the one thing in your life you've been holding back on? What's the one area where you've been settling for good enough? Take a moment, think about it, and then make a decision. No more holding back. Starting today, you're going to give it everything you've got. Let's make sure no one is lying awake at night wondering, what if? Remember, your life is too important to half-ass it, so go out there and give it your all.
You don't have to be who you were yesterday. You don't have to be who you've been your whole life. If right now you can picture the version of yourself that you'd like to be, you can be them. Just right now, start pretending. Do the things they do, say the things they'd say, and before long, you won't be pretending. A lot of people will tell you that's not true, but it is. It's what I did, and it works. best place to start is just to start. Don't complicate it. How do you start the next best-selling book? You write a page. How do you start a marathon? The first walk. And continue with that one commitment. In the sun, in the rain, when you're scared, when you're strong. And what starts to happen is the more you stay with that commitment, the stronger you grow.
If you're someone who loses sleep at night because they want a successful future so bad, regardless if you want to be a content creator, you want to grow your personal brand, you want to start an online business, whatever your vehicle is that's going to get you there, I need you to know how quickly your life can really change, because I get it. This road is tiresome and exhausting and lonely, and you hit dead end after dead end, and it feels like you're not really getting anywhere most of the time. But you never know when your day is going to come. So you never know when your break is going to come. But you have to just consistently show up, even if it feels like you're not getting anywhere, even if you don't feel like it, even if whatever, because that's how it's going to feel most of the time. That's just the way it is, and that's why most people don't make it. If you can manage to be that person, I promise you.
If you're gonna do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't over leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're gonna try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out, come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would it. That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something you just don't know, whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want, finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it, I went all the way, I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. But the limbo of not knowing, if you half-ass something, the limbo of going, I hedged my bet, you don't know.
Success isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in silence. In the moments no one else will ever know about. What people see is just the tip of the iceberg. But what they don't see is where the real story lies. It's not just about showing up when everyone's watching. It's the grind in the dark, the hours spent mastering the smallest details, and the discipline to keep going even when it feels pointless. So put in the work when no one's looking, because that's what separates those who want it from those who make it happen.
The problem with lies is when you lie to yourself, you close the door on what's possible and you keep yourself stuck. And when you tell yourself that lie, whether it's a relationship that didn't work out or a job that didn't work out, that's what you become. The truth is this, you've never failed because everything that you do is preparing you for what comes next. That's the truth. You are never failing. You are never stuck. And if you can look backwards and see how everything has led you here, why can't you stand where you are here and tell yourself the truth that where I am now is leading me to where I need to be in the future?
Our limitations exist within our own minds, and the most important quality or characteristic that you can develop for happiness and success is to be unstoppable. It's by the basic psychological, behavioral development principle of simply saying it to yourself. Because whatever you say to yourself and believe over and over again, you start to believe as a reality. You start to walk it and talk it and act it. So what you say is, I am unstoppable. And just simply decide, these are my dreams, and write them down. If you can clearly define that target, you can hit it. You eventually always hit the targets that you set for yourself. Allow your mind to float freely and ask yourself this question. What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew it could not fail? And write it down. The very fact that you allow yourselves to dream big dreams causes you to feel better about yourself, see yourself better, think of yourself better, and it starts the process of making yourself unstoppable.
I will win, I will win, I will win. When that negative voice pops into your head and tells you that you don't have it in you, that you should give up and go back to your old ways, that you don't have any chance at succeeding, you must tell yourself that you will win, as conviction is one of the greatest powers that you possess.
I mean, how many people do you know, I don't want to say later stages of their life, but after you've lived a couple of years, how many people wish they could have turned back the clock and done what they really wanted? And that's up to you, man. That's sort of the sneaking That's sort of the sneaking opposition of your life.
I chose to show up regardless every single day. There's a lot of things that you cannot control, but you can control your consistency. You can control stepping up to the plate. You can control your effort. Effort is something that is between you and you. Effort doesn't have to deal with anything else or anybody else. Consistency makes you legendary. If you're not consistent, it just don't mean that much to you.
You don't become wise through books. You don't become wise through formal education, and you certainly don't become wise by accepting the noise in this world as truth. You must dive deep into your own mind. You must explore the inner workings of your mental framework, and it is here where you will begin to understand yourself. When you begin to understand yourself on such a level, you begin to understand life, but not life in the sense of what we see and observe. That is far too shallow. I mean life in the sense of what we feel.